Thank you, merci. David, ça va?
Ça va.
C'est bien. So, my name's David. I'm a fourth generation British Columbian. My great-great-grandfather was a surveyor on the railroad, so thank you for the job, I guess, from the railroad. I want to talk through a couple things with you. We've got a few minutes here together. The main message that I want to get across is there's never been a better time or a better place for people to do really extraordinary things that have a global impact. And the other two little things I'll do along the way is I'll have you join me to sing a song. I think we have a real singer here who can maybe, I'm sure, hopefully more than one, who can bring us along. And then just tell you a little story about my small efforts to try to actually do something to make a difference. So in terms of why I think this is the best time and the best place that we've ever had, I look back to Isaac Newton. His best line by my measure that he took from someone else a few hundred years before was he attributed his success to standing on the shoulders of giants. And I consider what we're doing at Pulse Energy, we're little tiny dwarves on top of great big giants. But I think collectively, if we look at the giant things that have happened over the last 150 years in this country, in this province, there's a lot for us to build on and a lot of amazing stuff for us to do. And just the scale and scope that's possible to do from just Vancouver around the world just wasn't possible 100 years ago. Our little business is now one of the leading companies in the world for making commercial buildings more energy efficient, and computers make that possible. Now, a big part of making all this stuff work is people coming together and trusting one another and working together. And this is where I'm going to take a page from my dad's book. My dad, John, he's an economist who's become a happiness guru. So he travels all around the world giving happiness talks. And he often has people sing. He had the world's top central bankers singing this song at Woods Hole one year. I've done it a couple times, and it's great. And it's really, we call it the social capital theme song. And mostly kids sing it, but I think it helps for grown-ups to sing it too sometimes. And it's the more we get together, the happier we'll be. So I'm going to step back from the microphone just a little bit so you don't hear me too much. But I'd like us all to sing it. And then in that frame of mind, we'll get on to what are we actually going to do to make this country even better for the next 150 years. And I just wanted to also thank Mr. Point for the wonderful blessing. And Kwenutsa, I think, I was happy to hear you say that because it's the same idea as the song. So I'll start the first couple words, and I hope people will come in. That the more we get together, the more we get together, the happier we'll be. 'Cause your friends are my friends, and my friends are your friends. The more we get together, the happier we'll be. So don't you feel happier just for having done that? So in that frame of mind, avec l'idée qu'on peut vraiment faire des choses ensemble, si on est beaucoup plus fort ensemble, on peut vraiment faire des choses exceptionnelles. Just pull you back to what we tried to do with Pulse Energy. So there are a lot of problems in the world today. You can see that as a good thing or a bad thing. I see it as a lot of opportunities for making businesses that are going to do really extraordinary things. So at Pulse Energy, we saw about 30% of the energy in the world is used by buildings, and about 20% of that energy is wasted. So, without even changing light bulbs and insulation, just, lights on and heating going when nobody's in buildings, heating and cooling, fighting against one another, just wasted. So we got together, a couple people, my partner, so he's one of the giants of the BC tech sector. He started a company called Crystal Decisions, a software company, was sold for $1.5 billion. To a French company, and me being the energy guy, how can we make the world's buildings more energy efficient without actually going into them? So just using software algorithms, figuring out what's working, what's not, what needs to be done to make it run better. And it's amazing once you get an idea like that, and I think that the more we can make this 2017 thing more about the action and less about the talk, it's amazing how people will come to you and help. Another giant of the BC tech scene is John McDonald, who started McDonald Detweiler Associates, the Canada arm. And once he heard what I was up to, he took me under his wing as well with advice, and he's had great things. He's had a lot of challenges as well. And having the experiences of those people to help you build something, unfortunately, it doesn't avoid every knock and bruise along the way, but I think it helps to avoid a lot of them. And so that's been a great thing. Now, Pulse Energy, this is my one plug for the company, is we are recruiting very actively. So if you know any software developers or you are a software developer, please look us up, pulseenergy.com. But I think it's a good sign that here's something really happening here for a company at Seymour and Dunsmuir. That's now, we went from about 1,000 buildings a year ago. We'll be breaking 150,000 buildings this month, and we should be 250,000 before too long. It's pretty cool, the impact that you can have around the world if you just get started. So, other things so that's why it's a good time. Also, why it's a good place. I was born in the same city, so Vancouver, in the same time as Mountain Equipment Co-op and Greenpeace, and obviously we know we're from here, that there are a lot of kindred spirits who come together to really acknowledge the bigger picture, and that's something that we've found is really important, and also links into the more we're together going addressing common goals. Is building an organization that's doing something that people believe in is really important, and it makes work not feel like work anymore, and it makes it easy to hire people who we could never afford if we were doing something that people didn't believe in, frankly. And it's just a virtuous cycle for everybody, and we're just one little tiny example of a whole lot of other things that could be happening out there. So my message in looking forward to the next 150 years is, first, what are who and what are the giants that we want to build the next 150 years on? And what are the things that we need to get done in the next 50 years particularly, so that at the 200-year anniversary, they're talking about things that happened in the last 50 years as their giant, and not just looking back to things that happened before we came along. So I'll leave that with you, and thank you so much for having me be a part of this.
Merci.
Merci.
Vous dites qu'il n'y a jamais eu de meilleur moment pour faire de grandes choses en écologie. Ma question, c'est vraiment, avant la crise de 2008, Green Energy était partout, c'était très populaire. Depuis, on dirait que l'économie a pris le devant. Est-ce que c'est vraiment un bon temps maintenant pour faire de grandes choses écologiquement parlant?
Oui. Bon, alors là, il y a un peu de choses. À la fois, c'est vrai que le green economy, c'était plus chaud avant 2008 que maintenant. Ma message principal, c'était que pour faire n'importe quoi, soit avec l'environnement, soit le business, n'importe quoi, le temps, c'est maintenant. Côté environnement, vraiment, il y a toujours beaucoup de choses à faire. Et le temps, c'est très bon parce qu'on a beaucoup appris après 2008. Et pour nous, on est beaucoup plus fort maintenant qu'on était 2009, par exemple. So just for anyone who doesn't speak languages and have things, she was asking if 2008 made it hard to start a green company, and I'm saying anything was easy. Sorry, nothing's easy, but it was easier in green tech 2008 than it is now. But overall, it's it's the best time ever for doing anything, and even for green tech, it's a great time to start something.
Merci.
Okay, merci.
And we don't have to do it, but we could sing another song today. Happy birthday, David. It's his birthday. Joyeux anniversaire.